Hello and welcome to this program of the University of Arkansas Small Business Technology and Development Center. We are always pleased to be able to bring you these educational programs to help support small businesses. And please be advised that we will be recording this for education purposes. You also will be able to access this fantastically via our website, sbtdc.org, and we will be posting those links where you can access the information and more in the chat throughout the program. I'm going to introduce Mailena momentarily, but first I'd like to introduce us and tell you a little bit about the ASBTDC. I'm Amy Robinson. I'm a specialty consultant with the Small Business Center, and here with me today is my fellow consultant and facilitator, Chris Case. Say hello, Chris. If you don't know about the Small Business Development Center, it is a one-stop shop for startups and existing small businesses, and we are associated with the University of Arkansas. We're also affiliated with the SBA and the statewide ASB TDC. We also have a national network of more than 1,000 small business centers, so you can find an SBTDC or an SBDC anywhere in the country. Locally, we offer complimentary one-on-one consulting. It includes business planning, market analysis, financial projections, marketing, and more, as well as programs like this one. We love to cover relevant topics for business owners. And if you are not already a client, again, we encourage you to visit us at sbtdc.uark.edu. Chris, will you please tell us a little bit about how today is going to work and how everybody can get engaged and ask questions and all that good stuff?
Absolutely. And today, you guys, I'm coming to you from Texas. So if it's a little spotty, I'm a ways away. But today we're bringing you Canva 102 as part of a series that Mailena Urso is providing for us this month. Now, she provided 101 last week, and we will put a link in the chat so you can go ahead and view that and get caught up if you want to after this session. Next Wednesday, make sure that you put on your calendar. She's going to be covering 103, so you won't want to miss that. But this is a great format because it gives us all the opportunity to talk with the experts, ask questions, and work through whatever challenges that we might have as small businesses. This is very interactive, so we want you to ask questions. You can ask them in the chat box, or we're going to ask you to stay on mute. But if you do have a question, you can unmute yourself and ask that question. So please, again, we'll be monitoring the chat very closely. Ask as many questions as you can. I'm sure there's going to be a lot today. But make sure that you do that, and we will get those answered. Okay, back to you, Amy.
Okay, thank you. Well, we're going to welcome Mailena. She is one of our ASB TDC consultants, as well as a partner in Concord Adams. And we're going to have her tell you a little bit about yourself. We also want to welcome Rebecca Mathis. She's a graphic designer consultant with the ASB TDC, so she may chime in here a little bit and tell you a little bit more about what she's been doing with her experience with Canva as well. Again, thank you all for telling us that you were here in 101. I'm going to remind everybody, if you missed 101, then you can always go back and watch it, and we will be posting those links as to where you find those videos and get caught up. But while we're getting to know Mailena, we also want to get to know you. So if you will post in the chat and let us know what industry you're in, maybe any questions that you've already come here with today, or tell us about how much you played with Canva since 101, and if you've learned anything. So again, we want this to be very interactive. Mailena, I'm turning it over to you because you have a lot to share today. We're really excited.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Welcome back if you got to come last week. If not, we'll do a quick recap of last week's session. Let me share my screen. Okay. Can you see it? Okay. So I'm going to do a quick intro for those of you who weren't here last week. My name is Mailena Urso. I am, why isn't this going? There, I'm a marketer. And I have been marketing for a really, really long time. I graduated from the University of Arkansas, moved away for a bit, came back and worked for a startup at the time called Collective Bias. They're an influencer marketing company based in Rogers. And I was hired on as the 11th employee as a project manager. And that was because I had about 5 years of marketing experience behind me. And I actually decided I didn't want to do marketing anymore. This was back in 2000. 2011, and marketing then was so different than it is now. The marketing roles that I had before coming back to Arkansas were very traditional marketing, a lot of newsletter writing that was in the form of PDFs, and also Twitter was starting to become a thing. So that was kind of the entry point into digital marketing for me. And I was doing a lot of press release writing, and I decided this is not for me. I'm kind of bored. I want to do something else. And I found this company in Arkansas and decided I was going to be a project manager because I loved to manage lots of different projects. And so on the same day, I think you can relate probably as a small business owner, you wear multiple hats at a startup. And so they saw me as a marketer and wanted me to also help them with some marketing for their business, as well as being a project manager. So they asked me to write a press release, which is the thing that I hated most about what I did, which is fine. A year in, it was time to get serious about our marketing. And so they asked me to start a marketing department and develop a strategy. And so I said, okay. And I had a team of two people join the team. One of them was a designer. So I'm telling you all this because I'm telling you that I have worked with lots of designers in my career. And so at Collective Bias, I got to work with a team of designers to help us create a lot of really great business to business content in the form of case studies and PowerPoint presentations and white papers and blog posts and all that stuff. And then I went to work for Lauren James, which some of you may know. They're a fashion brand based in Fayetteville. They're a little bit different now than whenever I was working with them, but I wanted to get some business to consumer experience. And I got it there through e-commerce, direct to consumer, which was a lot of fun. But I was also directing a team of designers again. So really talented individuals who had this professional experience of designing beautiful graphics that we used every day in our marketing on social media, email marketing, all the channels. And after that, I moved over to work with my husband and in his retail tech startup. And then I got the opportunity to become a small business owner. And I own Big Box Karaoke, which is a private suite karaoke restaurant and bar located in Fayetteville. And this business has been a passion project of mine and my husband's for a really long time. Just after college, we lived in Japan, and that's where we got introduced to this style of karaoke, which is in a room and not on a stage. And so before 2018, which is when we opened, we had tried to open 2 other times, one in Chicago, one here in Fayetteville. And then in 2018, we opened Big Box Karaoke. And then I didn't have a team of people anymore. And I didn't have a lot of money to budget for hiring people to design for me. And so I knew, though, because of my marketing background, I knew that marketing was going to be very important for our business. It's a new concept, and I needed to get the word out about it. And I needed to figure out how to do it myself. And so I kind of tell you a little bit about my background because I think that you can relate. And I bet you can relate to this statement here that I'm not a designer. I will never claim to be a designer. I'm lucky that I have a marketing background. I've worked with lots of great designers. I can play around in some of the more formal design software like Adobe Illustrator, things like that, but it's very elementary knowledge. So when I became a small business owner for Big Box Karaoke, I needed to figure out how to do it for myself. A little bit about Concord Adams. Concord Adams is a business that I started last year because of the pandemic. Big Box Karaoke obviously was impacted too, maybe like some of your businesses. And so Concord Adams was a business that we launched to help diversify our income. And so I did, and have gotten connected with the ASBTDC team. And what we focus on at Concord Adams is helping people make ideas come to life through digital experiences, mainly websites and branding and some marketing. So back to the point, I'm not a designer. So today we're going to talk about how you can be a designer in your small business and make beautiful graphics using Canva. So we'll talk a little bit about just a recap from last week on Canva if you're new here today. And then we're going to talk about some design do's and don'ts. We're going to talk about how to create these designs. And I'm going to take a deep dive and just share my screen, and we're going to work together. I'm going to show you how I've created some designs, and hopefully you'll learn something today and you can take it back and make some beautiful things for your business.
Mailena, I'm just going to let you know that we have such a great diverse group here today. I'm so excited. Thank you all for sharing a little bit about where you are. You have everything from restaurant to horticulture to design, build, construction, to an author, to massage. Also, Arkansas Care Village. I need a care village. I need to know more about that. Anyway, so you've got a lot of great industries here that you're speaking to. So thank you all for sharing that, and continue to keep sharing, because it gives Mailena some great context.
Yes, thank you. Okay, well, so Canva is a design software, and it's been around for a really long time. It was started by a woman who's from Australia, and today it's like worth like billions of dollars. It started off as a yearbook design software, basically. But she was a designer, and she's like, I'm trying to teach all these people, these yearbook designers, to be designers. And there was just a big learning curve. And so she's like, this needs to be fixed. And so introducing Canva, it's free, which is one of the reasons why I loved it and I gravitated toward it. You know, being a small business owner, I didn't have the money to pay for the Adobe suite or to learn that, because it takes a lot of time. And Rebecca can chime in later. She is a designer, and she does have the background and the education on how to use some of those more formal softwares. And she's gotten into Canva for the first time. So I'm interested to hear her experience. So Canva's free. You don't have to have any design experience. It saves you a lot of time because it's so easy to learn and it's easy to use. And last week we talked about just the basics of Canva, which you choose the purpose. We have a lot of templates we can use. So whether it's an Instagram post, a Facebook post, a LinkedIn, whatever template you need, they have the sizes already created for those platforms. You choose a template, you customize a template to be for your business, you download it, and then you share it. So some design do's and don'ts. And I'll send the links to these articles that I found these from too, because they're really great. I just picked a few that I think that are relevant for today's conversation. So I'll send those links, Amy and Chris, to you so you can share with the group. But so do use color to set the mood. I'm sure many of you can recall what this is promoting. It was a campaign for the iPod. Right? So the color is setting the mood there, and you can do so many things with color. It evokes emotion. It tells a story. So there's a lot of like color theory out there, which again, I'm not a designer and I don't know. I can't talk to that. I'm sure Rebecca could. I know my creative director loves color theory. So color though is use color to set the mood, to tell your story, and then use contrast. So that's what this ad is doing, is, you know, there's that contrast, and it just kind of helps to tell the story of what you're trying to say. Be aware of visual hierarchy. So I don't have an example here, but what that means is understand what your goal is and what your message should be. If you're if you're like last week, we talked about big box karaoke and happy hour. If you remember that graphic that we made, happy hour was the biggest thing that you could see. That's the thing I wanted people to see first. And then there were some other words on there that were just secondary. So think about what the goal of the graphic should be, what your messaging is, and create your graphic with that hierarchy in mind. And then be consistent. Brand consistency is really key in all of our design. Even if you're not a designer, you have a brand, and your company name should have a brand that goes along with it, because people are visual learners. We remember photos and pictures and not words as much. And so if we're consistent with our branding and our graphics, then that's going to build, that's going to be repetition that helps create recognizable brands. So just think about all the brands that you just see a color or a symbol or something, and you've seen it so many times because they've been so consistent with their messaging on every single platform and channel they use. And it's, in your memory now. So what not to do? So don't overdo fonts, meaning just pick a couple, stick with a couple, 1 to 2 fonts that are legible fonts. You want to make sure that they're legible. Most of our marketing that we're doing from a small business standpoint is going to be digital, and a lot of it's going to be consumed on a mobile device. So it's going to be pretty small. And so the font needs to be legible, and don't have too many different fonts, because then it just kind of gets crazy. I think the main thing that I keep in mind when I'm doing my design work is just simplify. Keep it simple, because when you keep it simple, the user will feel that. And that is a good segue into, your color palette. Don't overcomplicate your color palette. Don't use too many colors, because then it looks like a rainbow, which some people, if your target market is like young girls, like my daughter, she would love to see rainbows. But don't overdo it. Just 2 to 3 colors is good, and make sure you know when to use what colors. So that's something to keep in mind. The other thing is, don't forget about white space. So white space meaning all the kind of blank space that's around the main things that you want people to focus on in your image. So that's what this picture here is an example of. You see on the left, this is using a lot of white space. This is not. So I don't know. Everybody has different preferences, but I think in general, people who are looking at graphics on online tend to look at the simple graphics. You see, like the first thing I see on this photo is the blue bubbles. The first thing I see on this graphic is the word clarity. So just think about the white space that you have built into your design. Okay, last week we talked about, so I did talk about Canva last week being really free. And there's a lot of features and functionality that you can use with the free account. But there is a paid version. Obviously, Canva is worth a lot of money because people use it every day, and they pay money to use it. Some people do. You don't have to, but I wanted to focus a little bit more on Canva Pro this session because we didn't talk about it last week. I don't think you have to buy a pro account, but if you do, here are some of the perks. One of the perks is being able to add your own brand kit, which I'll show you again if you weren't here last week, what that means. And that'll save you a lot of time if you're working in Canva a lot to create a lot of graphics. So you can have your brand colors right there, ready to go, have your logo, your fonts, all of that. Another thing that they've added to Pro that I haven't used at all yet, but it sounds really interesting, is the content planner, which that's what this is showing. They've created a content planner because we're creating a lot of graphics for social media within Canva, they've now created this ability to plan your content with the graphics that you're creating in Canva and publishing it to, I think it's like 7 different platforms. So now we're using Canva for everything. So that was a really smart move by them, I think. Again, I can't talk to how it works because I've never used it before, but I'm going to play around with it because it seems like it's just an efficient use of a platform. The one thing that I talked about last week was the magic resizer, and I'll show you how that works today. Last week I talked about when you're creating an Instagram post, what Pro allows you to do is click a button and say, I want to resize this to an Instagram story post, because those are longer images and a square isn't going to look that great. So I'm just going to press this button and it's going to do it for me. And I'll show you what that looks like. But that is available through a Pro account. You have access to more templates, but you have access to 250,000 templates in the free account. So you have access to a lot. With the Pro, you get access to 420,000. So that's not that much of a benefit. I mean, you get 200 more thousand, but there's a lot to choose from with the free. And then you're able to create templates for if you have a team of people, like if you have a large marketing team, if you're really lucky to have a large marketing team, then you can create templates for them to edit and design with that are branded. So those are some of the perks with Pro. Okay, any questions before we kind of dive into this? No.
Yes, please. If you have anything, please feel free to post it as we go along as well. If something comes to mind, you can throw it in there, and we'll interrupt Mailena at the right time as we go. But so far, this is just great information. Yes.
Okay, we're about to get into designing, but I wanted to show you what we're going to design. So Driving Academy of Northwest Arkansas is a client of ASBTDC. And I might let Amy or Chris or Rebecca talk about kind of how we work with them. But we've worked with them since last year about this time. And we like to work with businesses throughout their business life cycle. So through financial planning, through like business planning, all the things, HR. And one piece of it is some design help. And Rebecca has created a brand guide for them to kind of help. Sorry, was there a question?
No, I think it's the video, maybe.
Oh, really?
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay. Hopefully not. Well, okay. So anyway, so with the brand guide, what I did was I created some graphics based on the colors for the brand and based on what's happening at Driving Academy. And so today I'm going to show you how to create graphics with some motion, so some video, and then how to create a graphic for Instagram or Facebook and resizing it for a different platform. We also sometimes create I told you about templates that we've created in brand. And so this is an example, and I'm going to show you that. And Driving Academy has access to this, and they've been using it. If you go to their Instagram, you'll see some of their posts. But it just makes it super easy for them to design within a branded template. So let's get into it. Let's see. Okay, so here's Canva. If you haven't signed up for an account, you'll just go to canva.com and sign up for an account there. This is actually not a Pro account that I'm showing you right now. I'm going to show you this template that Rebecca created. Rebecca, do you want to just maybe tell everybody your experience with using Canva from a designer standpoint?
Sure. So I used Canva for the first time this week. It's something I've had on my to-do list for a while. It usually takes me a long time to get to things on my to-do list, so it took a while. But I usually use Adobe Illustrator or Adobe InDesign or Photoshop. I'm just used to them. They work well together. But I know that, Canva is for people who don't know those programs. And so I got in here and I was really pleased and happy because sometimes, if I'm in a different situation, someone like I help out at the rail on a consignment sale sometimes, and someone will say, hey, can you make us a sign on that laptop over there? And I'll get into Word and I'll just be trying to make a sign with a few words. And it's so frustrating. So I think I was a little bit expecting that. The restraints that you feel maybe in Word or in PowerPoint. And I will say I didn't feel that way at all. The things I usually try to do with letters and copy, I was able to do pretty easily in Canva. So I was pleased.
Awesome. Well, so this is a template that Rebecca created for the Driving Academy, and she put the photo behind here. And what is cool about it is this text is editable. So when they want to change out the message here, they can. So I just wanted to show you that because you can create graphics like that. That can save you time. So I'm going to jump back over here, and I wanted to show you what a Pro Account brand kit lets you do. You'll see Big Box Karaoke's brand kit in this Canva account. So I got to upload all of my logos here. I got to set my brand colors, and we have some custom fonts that aren't available on Canva. And so I uploaded them into Canva, and I get to set like headings get this font, subheads get this, body gets this. And so whenever I start editing, and you'll see some of that whenever we work, it'll be right there. I won't have to find the color or anything. Okay, so I'm gonna create a Instagram post that has some motion. So I'm gonna start with, whenever you get into your Canva account, you can always go to templates to start with a template. You can search right here if you're just like, I don't know where to go. There's so many things here. A lot of times search is the best place to go, and you can just search and you can see all the different templates that Canva has created for Instagram. So I'm just gonna go Instagram post, and you can start off with a template that they've created if you want. Or you can just go to a blank. So I'm going to go to a blank. And again, it's already in the size for Instagram. And it populates some templates here to kind of inspire you. I always start with templates because I'm not a designer, so I don't have like really good ideas just in my mind. I need some inspiration and I need a place to start. And usually I don't have a place to start unless I'm looking at one of these templates. And when I was doing this exercise, I always just kind of use this search, and I'm like, I'm just gonna put driving in and see what I see. And I like this image here. I'm like, oh, there's a road. That means that we're driving. I'm just gonna use that. So we're gonna click on that. And if you're like me, you don't have if you're like my small business anyway, you don't have a lot of resources to spend on assets, meaning professional photography, professional videos, all of that. And so what's really cool about Canva is they have a lot of stock photos and stock videos that you can use. Some of it's free, some of it you can pay for, but let me show you. So I've decided I want to show Driving Academy that they can use video in their social content. Video is really great to capture attention. It just kind of breaks up the feed. And, just subtle motion is good. So let's say, okay, now I'm going to go to, I want to change out this background image for a video. So I'm going to go down here and go to videos, and I'm going to see what we can find. Again, I want something around driving. So I'm going to go driving and see what stock videos we can use. And when you scroll over the options here, you'll see the word free on the ones that are free, and the ones that aren't, you'll see a pro. And you don't have to have a pro account to use these videos here. You can just pay per video or per image that has a pro level right there. And I think videos are $5. So I'm going to choose this one right here. And you can either click on it and it just kind of pops in there. I always like to drag it because then it will resize it into the box that is already there for me. So I'm going to, I don't really like this white border around it. So I'm going to actually increase the size to make it go the full size of that box. And I'm going to move this down because I want to see the hands moving. And I want to change this. So Driving Academy is promoting their summer classes. I always like to have a call to action. And then remember, we talked about hierarchy earlier. And so the hierarchy, the message that I want to talk about here is summer teen driving classes. And that's a lot of words for a small graphic. So I'm going to just decrease the font. I'm just going to say 65 and see what that looks like. Maybe 70. And if you have a brand font, you can come over here and pick one out. And remember, whenever I said that you can have a brand kit, see, here's my brand fonts for Big Box Karaoke, which this is not Big Box, but it makes it easy. It's already populated there if you had a brand kit set. So I'm just going to use this Open Sauce semi-bold, which is the font that was part of that template that I showed you earlier. And these words are overlapping, so we're going to adjust that. And you can just click on this icon here, and that allows you to adjust the spacing between the letters horizontally and the line spacing between the lines. So we want to kind of increase that. I'm going to bold it because you can't really see it. And we're going to increase that. And this font is a little weird. So we're going to also, and I'm going to decrease it. One point that I forgot to make last week was don't be afraid to just play around in Canva and just try. That's what I have been doing, and that's what I did actually in preparation for this. One of the asks last week was, let's talk about video. And so I'm going to actually teach you how to create a video in Canva, but I literally just taught myself like 2 days ago. So it's super easy. You can't break anything. You are in control, and they make it so easy. So anyway, the last thing that I feel like I'm missing in this graphic is a logo. So if you have a brand kit and you want to go to your logos, you will go to, so my Canva is like very unorganized. So you're seeing how I work, but it would be here somewhere. I don't know, folders. Okay, I'm being a poor teacher now. Anyway, the brand kit logos will be somewhere. I think I resaved them in maybe Concord. Okay. Anyway,
you're being very real.
I'm being very real, and I have no idea where my logos are. I don't know why it's not showing me. Sometimes Canva does this where it's like they change something because they're always like adding new features and updating their software. And sometimes things change while you're working and it's not where you thought it was before. And so I have no idea where it is, but you should be able to go to folders and see your logos. Maybe it's here. Nope. Okay. Anyway, what I'm going to do is show you Driving Academy. So all of these uploads are things that I've uploaded to Canva to use. And you just find it on your desktop and you can literally drag it over and it'll upload. So I'm going to pop in Driving Academy, the white logo, and I'm going to make it pretty small. And maybe I'm going to put it on the bottom here and move all these up and maybe make that a little smaller. And so see these pink lines, that's the grids that you can kind of pop into place that I wanted to make it sure is in the center of the graphic. So that solid line shows me that I'm in the center with this text box. I want to make sure this logo is also in the center, and there it is. And you can move stuff with your cursor and move it around. You can also just use your arrows on your keyboard to move it slightly. I'm going to say this is done. So this is done. So you can preview what it looks like if you go to this play. And so there we have a graphic that has some motion. And it's a little bit different than what people usually see on Driving Academy's social feeds. So maybe it'll stop them and be like, oh, what's this? Something else that I want to show you. So go ahead.
Oh, Mailena, we do have one quick question. That's a great one for Canva Pro, and talking about an account for small businesses, and if a group of people can be part of that, if Canva Pro has the ability to add users to it, or if they would need separate. And also, in addition to that, could there be multiple brand kits in Pro, or would they need to create a Pro account for each of those if they wanted to upload a brand kit? Not sure if you know that, but
you can only have one brand kit per account. You can have multiple people in an account, but your account's going to increase in how much it is. So there's like licenses that you have to pay for, and Canva also has like an enterprise level too. So there's like different options for the amount of people that you want accounts for, but having like I have another one of our colleagues in our account, actually two others. And so I'm able to create folders for them, and we can collaborate on images and share with each other, and they can have access to the brand kit and all that, but you can only have one brand kit.
We'll go ahead and post that Canva pricing in there. It does have something a perfect fit for every team, and it's asking, how many people you have on your team and some of those things, so it can kind of help you scale to what it is that you need.
Somebody asked last week about sliding images. So one thing that Instagram does well and other platforms is you can slide and kind of tell a story through that slider. And so let's say this is a great cover graphic, maybe the first graphic that you see in a slider, but now we want to kind of get deeper into the message. We want to there's only so much people will read in the caption part of a social post, and really these summer teen classes, there's a lot of information that I need to tell people about. So I'm going to create a second graphic, and let me start with a template. And I know that this second graphic is going to have a lot of text. I need to have more text than what I have in this first graphic. So I'm now trying to explain what my message is. And so I'm going to just stop here and see because these, if I scroll down, a lot of these are image heavy, which I don't want to have an image heavy second graphic. I want text. And so I don't remember what I used last time. So yeah, again, I always start with a template, and let's just find one. I'm gonna go to see all, because all these coronavirus templates have lots of words. And here's the one that I use actually, but I don't have too many words. Again, we want to be conscious about the white space that we use. So I'm going to use this one. Obviously, we're not talking about coronavirus. We're talking about the driving school. And so Driving Academy has like 3 different levels. I'm not going to do all the levels, but I'm going to just do one, show you so you can see how we get to where we need to be. So they have a bronze level, and I'm going to make that black. So remember, if you do have a brand kit, your brand colors will be here if you have it set up. These are not Driving Academy's brand colors, so I'm just going to pick a color. So bronze, this whole box here is grouped together, which means all these little text boxes are grouped. I'm going to ungroup them. So make sure you just click on the box and go to ungroup, and then it ungroups all of these. I know that I'm not going to keep this text. So I'm actually going to move this up. And I'm going to say level, so people know that this is the bronze level. And I'm going to copy and paste some of the copy from their website. So when you copy and paste something, you don't have to have a text box already. You can just click on the image and then paste it, and it pastes it into a box already for you. But that is not how I want it to look. So I'm going to left align it, and I'm going to put bullet points, and I'm going to shrink this box a bit. And because I know that this is going to overwhelm my audience when they see it, I'm going to kind of create some white space for myself. And then we can get rid of this. Sorry, I'm going to move a little faster because I know we're running out of time and I want to get to like video. So anyway, there's that. And, you know, we could delete some of these words because maybe it's not that important that they read all of this. We just want them to know like they're going to get all of this for this bronze level, and we want them to register or sign up. And I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to take this out, and this out, and I'm going to make this green color their green color, which actually first I'm going to add their logo. So again, I'm just going to go to uploads, use this one, put it down here, and then change out the greens to match it. And so what Canva does, it kind of pre-populates some of the colors that they're seeing in the graphic that you're doing. So they took that logo I put in. That's why I wanted to put that logo in first. And they're like, okay, well, we see this green in that logo, which is awesome because now I don't have to go and find it. It's just right there. And I'm going to change that to that green. And there's the second slider. And so what you would do then, I would advise them to create one of these for each of their programs. And then you could download it, and you would have to download. Instagram doesn't allow you to upload like GIFs. It has to be an MP4 file. So that would be an MP4 file. And if you say that you're going to download this as an MP4 video file and you want both of these, it's going to make both of these an MP4 file. So I would just get the first one as an MP4 and then download that, that second one as just a PNG. And then you can upload them to your Instagram. Okay.
Well, I've got a quick question that might come right now, but is there a technique on Canva that you've seen that works really well with YouTube or TikTok that not many people are utilizing enough of? And I know you're going to be getting to video, so I'm not sure if that will help.
I don't know. Actually, I am not a big YouTube or TikTok user for my businesses, but I'm sure, again, if we go here, they have some templates. So that's, if you're questioning like, can I do this in Canva? Just search for it. And probably the answer is going to be yes. And they probably will have some really awesome templates that you can start from. So here's some TikTok templates here. And then, YouTube, which I'll get into. See, there's some YouTube. Sometimes you want a good thumbnail. And so you can use some of these templates for those thumbnail images. So yes. Let me go back here real fast. And I just want to show you the resizer. I want to make these Instagram story size. So with Pro, this is my favorite feature of the Pro account is resize. And then you can choose how you want to resize it. And I'm going to just go Instagram story, copy and resize, or you can resize this file. I usually will copy and resize. And there it goes. It's kind of small, so I'm gonna maybe make it a little bit bigger. So you can edit it once it's there, but they make it super easy for you to edit within the size you want. So I'm not gonna actually do it, but you get the point. What I wanna spend the rest of the time on, if we can, is video. So let me show you this video that I made in Canva, and then I'll show you how I made it. Oh, sorry, this is not it. Let me go back to my home. Okay. Here, I'm going to show you the video. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I did this. I'm just going to start at the front. I'm going to go to video. I'm going to find a template that I want to start with. And I think I did something about noodles. Where'd that noodle one go? Here, this one. I knew I wanted to have, a few slides to talk about this driving program for the summertime. And so it'll start off with the templated video here. And so all you do, so each of these slides, it looks like a presentation, but each of these slides are seconds of the video. So here's the actual cover, the first slide. So you just edit it. It's like any other graphic that you're doing. And I know we only have 10 minutes left, so I'm just going to go back to here. So this is the actual video that I did, but I wanted to show you how I started. And again, all I did was I found that image. So you go to videos here. If you need a video file, there's the image there for me because I just used it and I just plopped it in there and it replaced this. So I'll just do it over here so you can see. Video, I'm going to move that over. So there's that. And then we just change the words, what to expect. And then you can, sorry, I'm just going to go back. I just want to get through all of this so you guys can see. But then I added a logo here. Again, you just go to uploads, find the logo, put it there. You can resize it and then add a second slide. I'm going to call them slides for this, but just go back to templates. And you can click on the one that you've been using and it has those templated slides for you. So I just chose one and then I changed it based on what I wanted, because I wanted to make sure it had some organic and original photos and videos and images for Driving Academy. I chose some of the photos that I found for them. It's not a video. They don't have video assets for me to use. They had some photos, so I put a photo in here. And so I uploaded it and then I dragged it over into the spot right there. And then I changed some of the words. I did the same thing for this. This is not a full video that we've done for them or anything. It's just an example. And then I had a closing slide. And so in your templates, you'll see all these different templates. They had a closing template, which I thought was great for this video and this purpose. Always want to have a call to action at the end and then the website. The other thing, you heard the music. So Canva has a lot of stock photos, videos, and music that you can use for free. Some of them you have to pay for, but this little thing right here shows me what music I have with this video. So if I click on it and I click play, hear that sample music. This colored spot right here is where in the music file my video is using that music. So if I want to make it maybe up here, that's a little softer. Maybe my music's too loud on the video. I can decrease it a little bit. I can change the music. So let's see, if you go to audio on the side here, there's all these different music files that you can use. Some are ones that you have to pay for. You can search for free files, apply filter, and these are the free ones. I'm just going to choose one and show you how to put it into your video. So it's, again, very drag and drop. You just drag it over and it changes it. And I'm going to just change it and see, turn it down. Now I'm going to see my finished video and I can just push play up here to preview it. Okay, one thing that I wanted to show you, because it took me a long time to figure this out, is that cover video was super long, right? I didn't want that to stay on there that long. So I click on it and let's see if I can remember how to do this. Okay, so pan is, this is how you create some animation. So how the words kind of animated like that, you can change it. There's different ones that you can do, and you can see this preview when you hover over it. This one's selected as pan. That's not how to do it. Sorry, let's see. Should have wrote this down.
We really appreciate you doing all this experimentation for us. It's fantastic.
I'm not a designer and I'm not a Canva pro for sure. But what I love about it is it's, again, easy to use and easy to learn, and you can figure it out. And how did I do that?
I think one of the things we talked about, Mailena, while you're figuring that out, is how intuitive or just exploratory, like you can't mess it up. No. So just get in there and experiment and go around and figure it out as you go. I'll also comment that music part is huge. Licensing music can be a really, really big hurdle. So all of these pre-done things are amazing.
Yes. Okay, I figured it out, which is not what I did last time. You just click on the video or that slide. And so here it says scissors, which means crop. And that's 9.6 seconds it's spending on this slide, which is so long. So I'm going to click that. And what happens is it shows me how I can crop it or trim it. So I'm just going to say like 3.2 seconds. And then I'm going to play that back and see if that's a little bit better. That's better. So total, my video is 18.2 seconds. But this is a good size for like a YouTube video. Maybe I want to post it on Instagram. I'm going to resize it. So you can do this with this video, which is awesome. And copy and resize. And again, you might have to adjust some things, but you get the point. So now I have this Instagram friendly video that I just made.
Incredible.
So that's it. Any questions?
That
Well,
is a lot. That is amazing. I
yes.
think you had a captivated audience today because we're all learning so much. Absolutely. If anyone has some very specific questions, and you all did have some questions along the way, anything specific to you or your business or general, please feel free to throw it in there, or, add it, just put it in the chat or just say something now. We've got a couple of minutes with Mailena and Rebecca as well. We definitely mentioned a little bit earlier about how the ASB TDC team, with the Driving Academy, Chris has worked with them, Rebecca has worked with them. We've had all kinds of, look at what you need as a business, and then look at our team and who can help provide that. And so I know, Rebecca, one of the things that you have taught us as consultants is, to be bring your ideas, bring all of those things that you've got to the table. We love clients that are somewhat established. You have skin in the game, and maybe you're in a really big growth cycle, but we have some real great companies that we love to work with. Do you have anything to add to that, Rebecca?
Usually what we have people do is bring the logo and any assets they already have. And then we take what they already have and grow it into a true brand guide or a brand kit, as we were seeing in Canva, and give that back to the business owner and show them why we picked those colors and what our ideas are for them with social media, like how to put it together, and kind of equip them to take those pieces and then, using Canva or whatever else they want to use, make the pieces they need for themselves.
Yeah, we're really a walk beside you organization, giving you the tools to be able to do a lot of these things themselves. Mailena, I have to thank you so much, because one of the things I loved about this is that you really just showed us how you can just sit there and figure it out as you're going along. It was one of the best things ever. And so we hope that everybody else will be just as fearless as you were in this. And design for non-designers is one of the things that you had named this really early on, because that's exactly what it is. But we also love that we have great designers on our team, like Rebecca, to reflect back to us that, hey, we didn't do so bad. Well, we want to thank you all again so much for being here and attending this workshop. And you will be sent a copy of the presentation that we didn't really have. She just did everything live. So that will be found in the video that you can get at the website. And we've posted that link several times. And Chris will go ahead and post all the links again real quick so that you can find those before you go. But we'll also love to email you a brief survey to help us continue serving you. But you can become a client, see the recordings, future events, all of those other things. Chris, you want to close us out and tell us all the other places people can find us?
Absolutely. And then I'll go ahead and post those links for everybody. But you can find a full listing of our workshops and recordings at sbtdc.uark.edu. And you can also use the QR code that's right there on the screen to sign up for notifications or become a client. We are also posting a lot of information on social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. But make sure that you guys put it in your calendar for next Wednesday, because that's going to be Canva 103. And I know you guys are going to learn as much as I did. I've already done my first Canva. I jumped right in. So
Mailena,
You'd be
Next
proud of me.
week-
You'd be,
Next week, next week, Melena's going to make a bigger leap, and she's going to do, if you have an email marketing list. So if you have an email marketing list, now what do you do with it? Which she will not be experimenting with, because she is a pro in email marketing lists. So that is next Wednesday, and we would love to see you all here again. Well, thank you all so much. It was wonderful to see you all, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.